stop, forget it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up, what is up? Welcome into Pregaming here on Tuesday, May the 6th, here at Sports Money. Thank you guys all for coming in to join us here tonight. Excited. Great news. My man Sharpie Bets is off again tonight, so we are going to do a little live stream action right at 7 o'clock. And my man don't wait for nobody, so we got to be moving and grooving here as we go through this card. Going to have ourselves a nice baseball slate. Like the slate tonight quite a bit. We have 2 NBA games in the playoffs. We have 2 NHL games in the playoffs and a full Major League Baseball card, a doubleheader currently underway. Cleveland and the Nationals, what a mess they're making in this game here. Runs, and more runs. The Nationals have just taken the lead as they roll through the 7th inning into the 8th. Might be a good time to take a Steve Kwan RBI live bet at plus 1,200. I'm just saying, a little sprinkle. But we got ourselves a big night, so get ready and get set. A couple of nights of recuperating after what was a wild and crazy weekend. Ready to go again. Got our boy ready. The crew should be ready. We'll get some guys here to spend some time on stage talking about some live bets, but I love talking baseball with our guy Sharpie, and Ramon Scott will be here. We're going to have some fun going after this card tonight, so get ready. And that means we do have to keep her moving because, again, my man don't wait for nobody. So I appreciate you guys. Going to be fun night here. We need it, too, because last night was not our finest hour. I'll tell you what, props went really well in the NBA, especially the Tatum. Tatum rebounds over. He gets himself 16. I mean, they pegged it at 9.5 at plus 110. Are you kidding me? And then Brunson over 2.5 threes. Dude goes off for a 5-pack. So quite a spot there. Wow. The Celtics got smashed. Where's our guy, Nasty Nate? They did not come anywhere near covering that -9. They were down. On the other hand, though, we were all over that Denver spot at plus 10.5. Wrong team was favored. Denver Nuggets slide away with the win, 121-119. And I thought that number was just disrespectful given the fact that we talked about it. You look at this series, minus that first game of the season, it was really Denver up 2-1. So interesting spot. You know, as far as the Celtics were concerned, I did talk about them sliding back to that 3-point game. So game flow was, or game plan, I guess, was okay, but boy, they had a record number of misses, and literally an NBA record number of 3-point misses. And the Knicks were not afraid to go for that 3-ball. So the Knicks really went right in there and matched fire with fire. They found a way to get her done. Big win for them New York Knicks. We'll see if it means night-night for the Celtics. Probably realistically over the course of the long haul, the Celtics will pull up and find a way to at least win the series. Guardians game got voided for us yesterday. And then the rain delays just made it a mess. The Yankees got that rain delay. I heard Ramon saying today that they were doing everything they could to give it to the Yankees. I was hoping so, but the Padres win. So the Dodgers, Yankees parlay did not cash. And the Pirates blew it. Not extra innings, but after the 5th, they kind of just fell apart. Hey, the Toronto Maple Leafs, they hold on for the win. They do not cover the under. 5-4 was a massive goal-scoring amount there. I was very surprised to see how that game shook out. We'll talk about that one in just a minute. And then the Mariners lose 7-6 to the Oakland Athletics out there. Sacramento scores. Kind of right from that regard, but just didn't get to the right click. That's the challenge, right? We can talk about these games, but do we find the right click? Do we get to the window with the right button? And last night was not the case, but a couple of thoughts I had out there. First and foremost, you guys know I have a future bet. My only future bet I had one midseason with the Predators. That was way off. I do have the Maple Leafs. I'll say this. The way that series was supposed to go down, Toronto, I didn't think Toronto was going to win game one. I figured they would find a way to come out there. Can't just make the home team a dog like that, especially in the rematch scenario with Stolarz. Stolarz, the backup for the Florida Panthers. Now it's Stolarz versus, Sergei Bobrovsky, SpongeBob, if you will. They're saying it was a puck in the face. Now, I always said what I like to do was take a slap shot right at the face mask. But trust me, my slap shot defender, pretty accurate. And I hit plenty of face masks. Now, it leaves a ringing in the ears. I've never seen a goalie get concussed by taking a puck in the face mask. So a lot of people out there talking about this thing saying, oh, he was concussed from the puck in the face mask. I don't think so. I think it was the situation with Sammy Bennett coming up from behind this guy and tagging him right here. And if you don't know what right here is in the goalie's face mask is not like a player's helmet. Player's helmet comes down like this, right? You can snap the lid forward, but it's predominantly a shell covering the head minus your face, and then the face mask or no face mask if that's the case. Goalies' helmets are different. They have straps on the side, and they kind of come apart like this, right? So as they come back together, they adjust the straps on the side to make sure that it's the right fit on the head. But where it comes together, right behind the ear, not that there's a gap, but it's not a full shell around the head. And where I'm going with this is Sammy Bennett comes up from the left side of the pipe, gives him one of these in the back of the head. Not expecting it, clearly. And a couple minutes later, he's over on the bench throwing up. Not going to be hypocritical. I've told you guys before how I like to aggressively attack the goalie. But from the front, not from the back of the head where they're not expecting it. So that being said, the NHL Players Association does not rule a penalty in this situation. And they're saying, oh, it's hard if the refs don't call the penalty not to overturn it. That's what the Players Association is, or the Reffing Association is for. The NHL Injury Council, whatever it is you want to call them. They missed it. They're not going to make them all, but I've hit plenty of goalies in the face mask. I told you the story about hitting a kid in the throat. Split the throat mask, the throat protector. Split it, shattered it, literally into 50 pieces. I've been hit in the face as a goaltender with a face mask on. Your ears ring. You don't pull off a concussion. We see that wall goes in. Guy hasn't played in like 3 weeks. Florida Panthers start scoring goals. There's a point to this. The point is, I've got Toronto to win the series. The way I would play the rest of this series with the uncertainty, listen, guy's concussed. He's thrown up in a bucket. You don't see that too often. And he had the shakes. There was the post-concussion syndrome shake that he had. That was all looked like a concussion, no question about it. If they're going to keep Wall in net, then they're going to lose this series. And my thought process, I was thinking about this as I was cutting my lawn this early afternoon. I thought, that dude's going to be gone for at least 7 to 10 days, right? It's going to take him at least to clear concussion protocol, 7 to 10 days. My thought process there is that's 5 games in a series. If they play every other day, they already bagged one. They play every other day to some degree. Steps. Let's say it's 7 days. That's probably 4 games he misses plus the one that they just played. That means he's not coming back till game 6. Here's my point. You can catch the Florida Panthers to win this series at plus 105. Florida Panthers win this next game and they go back to Florida. Those series prices are going to be minus 160s, minus 170s, minus 180s. And the more they win, the worse those blowouts get, the higher that number is going to get. So, my semi-professional opinion, go out there and get a live series bet on the Florida Panthers. It's only going to have to age for a week, so it's not like we're tying our money up for 6 months. But you're catching a plus money spot because they just lost. There's some even number spots out there too, but they just lost, and that number came way down from like minus 150, minus 160 to plus 105s that I locked in earlier today. I think that way, regardless of the goalies are going to make the difference in the series. Can Toronto score enough? And the reality is, can Wall keep the puck out? And we saw that he can. So I fully expect that the Florida Panthers will win this next game. Stolarz will probably be out, and they'll probably bust him up. They'll go back to Florida. They'll probably bust him up there, and yeah, it's going to see the same story with Toronto. It's not the same story with Toronto because of that face masking or that goalie injury concussion situation. It's not Florida or Toronto blowing it, albeit they're going to blow it. If you understand what I'm saying, if you're reading between the lines, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, best way I think you could play, and then screw the rest of that series. Maybe you play some bets on goal scoring props, like when it gets to game 6 and they're facing elimination out there. You live bet the over. Maybe I wouldn't live bet Toronto's team total under. Bobrovsky's not the strongest either. But that was my 2 cents. I wanted to say that because I know I've heard some really stupid takes on that today. And I think the best way to look at that series now, expecting this goaltender to be out and wobbled, for me, I got the 14-1 on Toronto. I'll neutralize it, and I'll probably find a couple ways to prop bet the rest of this series. But that's the way I would attack that Toronto series. Hey, look, the NBA, probably the similar situation with the Knicks in Boston. Probably catch Boston. I think it's still a pretty aggressive price tag when it comes down to that series. But I wonder if Denver can neutralize this OKC Thunder team. We saw the Cavs struggle. We'll talk about the Cavs here. I don't have an official play on this Cavaliers game tonight. I was looking at the shoot-around roster, the lineup for the guys in the shoot-around, and a lot of the big dogs are out for Cleveland, but a lot of big dogs are out for Cleveland. So the reality becomes, do you sit those guys simply because you're trying to just give them a little bit of rest because they're going to get a lot of minutes tonight in that game? As long as it's not a blowout, they should get an absolute ton of minutes because there's not a lot of depth in that Cleveland lineup. Now the lines come down. We saw some 10s all the way down to like 7.5s now, maybe even a couple of 7s. I haven't looked in a few minutes, but I think the only way that Cleveland has a shot in this series or this game is playing defense. And I know that Cleveland, one of the highest scoring teams in the league, the Pacers, with Halliburton finding his game and starting to throw pace out there. No pun intended on these Pacers. It's got to be an underlook, doesn't it? Doesn't it have to be an underlook in that series? I just don't want to mess with that game. That's not one of those games like we talked about last night. Some guys will say, wait and see what the first game looks like. Well, if you wait and see what the first game looks like, you missed Denver winning outright. You missed a shot with the Pacers. You missed a shot with the Knicks. You missed a shot with the Leafs. There's no waiting. What are we waiting for? We're not waiting on a train. We're not waiting on the bus. We're here to make some money. God damn it. And those are the ways that I would attack a couple of those playoff games. But we will talk about the rest. The Texas Rangers and the Boston Red Sox will pop off in about 25 minutes. The Padres and the Yankees, I believe, is 7 o'clock. Then we'll roll in Cincinnati and Atlanta. We will follow that up with Toronto and the Angels. We will transition to the NHL, where I've got plays in both games. Carolina and Washington. I think there's going to be a real interesting way that game goes down, and I think there's a lot of people on the wrong side. Can't wait to talk about it. Edmonton and Vegas. I think there's a lot of people on the wrong side of that game too. So we'll talk about that and then finish her off with Golden State and Minnesota before we go live with my man Sharpie. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to see what we can do tonight to make some cash. It's going to be some live bets. We got some RBIs out there. I think Sharpie's got 7 K props. I've got 4 RBIs. I'm going to add a 5th RBI. It's going to be in that Dodgers game. I said earlier, I chipped a tooth. So I'm dealing with that now today. But hey, we're here to make some money. That's what it's all about. I appreciate all you guys. I want to thank you guys for doing a great job with the thumbs up and with leaving comments. We're moving. You guys don't see some of the behind the scene moves here, but we're a community. We're all in this thing together. We're all trying to grow our bankrolls, but I appreciate you guys trying to help us grow this sports money network. And we're moving. We're catching new viewers, and it's coming from the YouTube homepage. So guess what that means? I'll connect the dots for you guys. We're making noise. Sports money is getting front and center representation when sports fans go onto YouTube and they want to search anything sports. The first thing that pop up, sports money. So congratulations and thank you guys all for taking the time. Comments post-show I think that's probably the most significant change we've had because our likes, our thumbs up in show have been pretty consistent, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. Out of show, post-show, the comments are really what's changing the game for us out there. And that means new viewers click in. They see you guys making great plays. They see the plays that I'm making. And they say, hey, here's a spot I can hang out for a little while and see if I can't find a couple best bets. So do me the favor. We're in show. Let's get this thing rolling. I told you, we got to keep a super brisk pace today. But the most important thing you can do here is hit that thumbs up button. In-show, thumbs up. Post-show comments. Don't be slackers post-show. We love those comments out there. A couple have been dropped off. I've seen a couple of you guys drop off. I love the guys that are consistent with it, but take the time if you haven't done so already. They're coming for me. And smash that thumbs up button and we'll get the show going. So we have a card here tonight, and things are underway. You guys know the deal here. If you're just new to sports money, let me share it with you. Sunday, we kind of regroup, recoup, and rehydrate. Monday, we start popping off live shows. Of course, our guy Ramon Scott rolls 7 days a week at 9 a.m. Really cool. You get 9 a.m. our time, East Coast, my time. That means it's 6 a.m. Vegas time. That means that Ramon Scott is the first guy across the YouTube stratosphere telling you what the sharp bettors and the Steam report is sharing from overnight action. You're not going to get that early anywhere else. My man Ramon Scott gets up at like 3 a.m. his time just so he can come in here and share it with you guys at 6 a.m. Of course, on Mondays, we'll roll with Pregaming. Tuesdays are a big day. We load up Tuesdays. We get you guys going. Ramon Scott pops off at 9. Of course, we're here for Pregaming at 6. We get the K-Prop RBI prop show, the Balking Dead with Sharpie bets. That pops off at 1 p.m., usually around 3-ish. VB MMA picks and Ramon Scott come together with some of the most experienced guys in the UFC business to give their very first looks on the Saturday cards. Now, this Saturday is a huge one. Of course, PPV, pay-per-view, UFC 315 up in Quebec City. And that means that we lead into Wednesday. Wednesday, we pop off First Strike. We get them rugby boys from down under giving that action out there. We finish the playbook usually around Thursday, get that thing out to you guys to start planning your UFC action and angle of attack for the weekend. Thursday, we try to go live. Friday, same thing. Recoup, recharge, rehydrate. And then Saturday's the big live stream. And this Saturday is going to be a monster. Again, a big pay-per-view card. Tons of views. We always get a ton of views on the pay-per-view cards, but listen, pay-per-views or UFC is heating up for us. So if you guys are missing them Saturday shows, make sure you get into it. That's the deal. That's how we roll. Of course, we'll live bet. We'll give you guys a lot of special action along the way. Hey, silver and gold members, those that have upgraded, I do appreciate you doing that, being viewer supported. We don't have the sponsorship of big networks behind us. The graphics are the guy you're looking at here. The shows are produced by the guys that you see on screen, and every like counts, every comment counts, and every dollar that you guys contribute to this organization counts as we continue to build this thing. So if you're silver and gold members, we want to give you best bets, extra action that's kind of outside of any of the shows that we're doing here. Maybe the games start early. Maybe there's something that we're going to add late, and you're going to want to keep your notifications on at X. At Sports Money Wins is the spot to go out there so that you don't miss it when we drop live plays, whether they be videos or just written content that we post at the post. You want to be in the know to get that action. Makes sense? Fire, rapid fire here. I told you guys, we got to move quickly. We do not have enough time ever, do we? This time of the day, you know how it goes out there. So we're going to go. We're going to roll. Take my advice and get yourself a live bet with that Florida Panthers series total. Best part about that is it's even money. And you have a lot of ways. If my read on what's going on with Stolars is off, you have a lot of ways to fix and hedge out of that. Now, I'm pretty fucking good when it comes to betting hockey. You guys have seen it for the last couple of years. How many new hockey fans did we create from over at that other channel? Man, we picked up over 60 units year one. We're on pace for that in year two. And it comes not from being the last guy to tell you what's happening. We got to be the first guys. We got to be prognosticators. We want to tell you what's happening so that you can get a read and an angle on it and then appropriately react. I hear so many read and reacts a week and a half, 2 weeks after we've said it. I just think it comes down to guys are just afraid. Like, hey, if I make a claim and it's going to go a certain way, what if I'm wrong? You know what? A lot of people are wrong. Experienced bettors, sharp gamblers, they're only winning 60% of the time. That means 6 of every 10 bets they make are winners. 4 of those 10 are losers. And if they do it the right way, you're still able to be profitable. And profitable we are. We're eclipsing 65, 66 units here on the show between pre-gaming and the post tab, the VIP content that we put out there. So listen, bottom line, we're going to be tip of the spear. That knife is real sharp, and we're going to cut these bookies up, but we're going to do it in a nice way. We're going to do it with a smile on our face, because when we go to collect from the bookman, is there ever a better feeling? Getting that big envelope where you got to start looking around. I'm going to get hit with a pipe when I got this much cash on me. I hope not. I hope that doesn't happen to any of you guys, but make sure you look twice when you collect the envelope. That's what it's all about when you get them cash outs from your locals. Let's go. It is showtime. I told you, we got to move. We don't have a ton of time to do it, so we're going to run through what I think is the best damn chat in the business. You guys have had opportunity to, whether you listen to other shows, you're looking at the card, you're just pontificating all day on how you want to get to the action. It's the time that we all share our action out there. So get your pen and paper ready. I mean it. These guys are firing up. These guys are sharp. We've been building together for, man, almost 2 years now. Almost 2 years this time slot. We've been sharing. I told you the other day, a lot of guys read these line movements. They just don't understand it. They're scared. They can't figure it out. And we will continue to innovate and augment in a positive way our bankrolls. But everybody here is working together, and they're here to share their best bets. So pop them in the chat. I want to talk about what you guys are on. I've told you before. That is more fun than me talking about what I already bet. But I'll share with you what I already bet. I'll share with you guys that I chipped the front of my tooth the other day. So really stupid, but I did it. And if you've ever done that, you know when you're chewing and you feel something crunchy and you're not eating something crunchy, it's probably a piece of your tooth. So I hope that doesn't happen to anybody. I hope you do cash with our guy Joker, though. Here is a guy that has reigned a war of terror on the unders. His assault on the unders reigns no bounds, and he's got an F your under play of the day. He's going down to Miami. Fishtown. Actually, I don't think it's Fishtown. I know there's a Fishtown in Philadelphia. But he's going Dodgers and Marlins. He's going over 9.5. A courageous, ballsy SOB. Of course, Teoscar Hernandez is out of that game. And not only is Teoscar Hernandez out, Edman is out. So it led me to an opportunity. I'm going to share this here off the cuff. We'll pop this thing off with one of my plays here. I'm adding a ribeye play of the day. I had him circled earlier. I got to do some reading. I think it's a good fit here. You know, sometimes there's too much firepower. Sometimes there's too much star power. And some of the real stars, or what should be future stars, don't get a chance to shine. I think that is the case now. And because of these injuries or these players that are out of the lineup for this Dodgers mess, I'm not going to lay 2.5. But I'm going to take Ha-Seong Kim. Ha-Seong Kim to get an RBI at plus 190. Ha-Seong Kim plus 190. They sent him down to the minors. They put him down in the minor leagues. And all he's done since is fire. He's been crushing. He's been cracking the ball. He's seeing it really well. It's almost like now another Japanese guy in his up-and-coming years in Major League Baseball. The game is starting to slow down for him, and that means he is starting to get solid contact. And we get a solid price tag. So maybe it complements Jover's over. Ha-Seong Kim, plus 190. Pretty much widely available for an RBI. Plus 190. Ha-Seong Kim. I can't say it enough. We're spending the second on this game. That's going to be pretty much the only time I talk about that game. So make sure you get that action. Make sure you get Jover's action in there. Shout out to our guy, Gerald Jones. He's got the Pacers team total over 111.5. They got it at even money. So listen, that basically is the opposite of what the only way Cavaliers have a chance is to slow it down and make sure that they don't let the Pacers speed it up. But Gerald Jones thinks the Pacers are going to go out there. They are going to rain terror on this Cavalier squad, and we will root for our guy, Gerald Jones. I am not invested in that game, so maybe I will look to live tail my guy, Gerald Jones. Joe W's here. Shout out to Sancho and Jay Maine. Ignatius Penny Feather the 7th. Jay Main's got the good ganja going. He's giving out them dope plays with the good ganja. Let's go, my dude. Shout out to Ken Wood and Old E. Stop Geo's in the house. This is LFG. Good luck to y'all. And we got more action popping off here in, look at this, 10-9. 10-9. For the Guardians. Maybe they tie it up and I can catch a Quan. Nope. They're not going to tie it up. They are going to lose 10-9. That's why I like to play doubleheaders. I told you guys yesterday. I like the Cavs yesterday, or the Guardians yesterday. But if it moves forward, I do not want to get involved in doubleheaders. Let's go. J-Main. Here's the dope ganja plays of the day here. Steph Curry, 30 plus, 5 of his last 6 versus the Wolves points over. Definitely a go-to tonight. Man, we crushed some of those spots last night. We absolutely got the club out and we're banging away. Not just in the earlier game there, but man, when we were talking about some of the point totals, the ladder totals out there, they were firing. So look at my guy, J-Main. He's got Steph Curry, 30 plus, 5 of his last 6. He says they earned their checks last night. Cheeks. Pirates got a bad coach too, says J-Man. They do. They got a bad bullpen too. They just don't have enough power in the lineup. I almost faded him today. I know it's Paul Skeens Day, but look, the number 1 most bet prop last week on Skeens Day was Skeens K-Props, and he failed miserably. Year 2. Sophomore slump, so they say. Gerald Jones got the purple punch. J-Main. Not worried about the Knicks. They'll run out of gas real soon. I think so, too, over the course of the long haul. There's Chris Comentini. Sancho says, Leafs cash. Take Florida game 2. Peter Grassi says, sup, Mike? Toronto on over period 2 cashed. There's our guy Keith checking in from the office. Bomb.com. Bomb.com's here. What's up, Bomb.com? Robert Glocks is taking advantage of a team's goalie getting an illegal shot to the back of the noggin. I like it. Ramon Scott says this YouTube commercial on Sports Money was for Hims. Collection of my cookies or the host needs. What are Hims? Are the Hims the dude's wipes or are they the I don't know. Robert Glock thinks the Boston is cooked. Ron Young. Things are looking up, he says. Justin McCalvy's here. He says sports money is money. Ramon thinks it's going to be a good night. Gorky wants the Caps. I can't wait to talk about that game. Oldie says Team Steam. I told you guys, man. 6 a.m. his time. Nobody is bringing you the sharp betting report from the betting capital of the world in Las Vegas as early as Ramon Scott. That is a real treat to have here on the Sports Money Network. Let's go. This is a great call on the Denver money, says Peter Gracia. Keith's reminding everybody to smash the like. Oldie's looking for some McCovey prop bets in the Braves game out there. Blue says the Steam Room. Steam Room with Morning Scott. Ramon Scott. Let's go. Says join the crew tonight. Everybody here on Sports Money for the live MLB and playoff coverage. You know we love to get together with you guys and spend some time talking the ins and outs, the X's and the O's, the Jimmys and the Joes, and everything else that goes to it. Blue's here because of Ramon. Peter, I appreciate you. He says trying to comment after every show. That I think is probably the most important thing. We were stagnant for a little while, and I'll tell you, you guys, the last couple of weeks, you kicked up the comments, and it has kicked up the new subscribers, not new members, but new subscribers. That means that we're getting attention from YouTube. I told you, we should be loud. There's no reason the Sports Money Network can't compete with the big boys. We make more damn money than the big boys. You know what it comes down to? They're just giving you plays. We're giving you bets. I used to not think that. I thought that was a stupid thing to say, but over time I've realized. Blue says, yes, sharp indeed. Ramon Scott's got the Billie Eilish song. Maybe he'll sing it for us tonight. Derek B says, Boston screwed me. Denver saved me. Yeah. The player props kind of saved me on that Boston side of things there. Blake M's here. Gorky likes Timberwolves and Vegas money lines. Chris Comentini likes it. Gorky says Stolars is out for the season. I thought so too. I mean, dude, I haven't seen a dude throw up from a concussion in a minute. In fact, I've only seen it one time in my life, and I've given some concussions. I've gotten some concussions. It was something. It's disappointing. Blue says T-Wolves. Joseph Alvarado's rocking. And Gorky says he has a feeling. Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. There's not enough games left. There's not enough data. That was bad, man. And then he had the twitch. Ooh, it made me shake. J-Main, Donovan Mitchell, 9+ first quarter points, 5 of his last 6. This is the content we want to see, you guys. coming in with a play, giving us the reason behind it. Joseph Alvarado wants to do some damage. Trisha M says, great Ice Cats breakdown. Yeah, I think so. I thought so. I mean, time will tell, but you catch them at plus money, and there's plenty of other games that we can focus in on. I like to get involved, but that game came out of the lineup for me as soon as that happened. Blue likes Anthony Edwards, 10 plus rebounds. Stop Gio. Mobley, Garland. Hunter ruled out tonight for Cleveland. Yeah, it's a who's playing. Turn your phone on. They may call you. We may see our guy Ixnizzle in the lineup. Let's go. Chris Camatini says no Hernandez or Betts. Yep. And Edmund, I believe. Action Jackson's on the Mets minus 105. What's up, Action Jackson? J Main thinks Spider might get 60 tonight. He definitely shooting 33. Blake likes the Pirates first 5, minus a half. Yeah, it is a hockey thing, dude. That is a hockey thing from the Ice Chips. Damon Waring's giving everybody the what's up. Oh, Ramon Scott says Texas Boston's in a rain delay. Oh, no. Sancho thinks Pritchard was easy. Oh, no. Chris Camatini says, man, can't believe Barca lost it in added time. I was on a little enter to advance. What a game that was, man. They were up 2-0. They go down 3-2 with 10 minutes left. They tie it up, and they finish it off with a goal in the first half of extras and then park the bus. Blake M likes the Blue Jays first 5 minus a half. Got the clubs out and beat them like a baby seal, says Joseph Alvarado. Cameron Sinette says I almost think at this point you got to look at to me, I think this line's come too far. I think that they can, not 9.5 and 10s, but 6s and 7s. Why not? Anthony Gallo commenting on what hymns are. Gerald Jones says, Ramon is the truth. He sure is. Fortunate to have him here on our team. And Justin says, Matty Olson over 1.5 bases. Kelly V likes the Cubs minus 1. Says Verlander is trash. Action Jackson says that Dodgers game starts in 7 minutes. All I got is that RBI. Markel. It's Markel's birthday. Says happy birthday to me. Let's make some money. Shout out to you, Markel. Happy birthday, my friend. I love it, man. We got a bunch of May birthdays up in here. Let's go. Let's go, my friend. I hope you have a great night. Make a ton of cash. Join us. I'll do a toast in your honor. Anthony Gallo likes the Caps money line. First period, both teams to score. Oilers in Vegas. Blake, Royals over 2.5 runs in the first 5. That's a really good look, I think. Pacers line dropped a whole $1, says Cameron Sinette. Proudest goal in the Caps game for Anthony Gallo. Pacers now down to I think it's Cavs are going to end up winning. We'll see. Trisha M's our boots on the ground down there in Miami. It's Asian Heritage Night. Kelly V thinks Allen would clean up the rebounds. Stolen base for Ohtani. Kirk Gray says, let's talk hockey, Mike. All right, let's go. Let's do this. Let's fire this thing off. Fucking rain delay, huh? First game on the card. All right. I'll make a deal with you guys. Here's the deal. Just because fortunately last night the rain delay pushed. The first one, the Guardians rain delay. Here's the deal I would make. If I got a game in the future and this one doesn't win tonight and I have to cash out, or if it's a rain delay, I will cash out. Let me rephrase that. I will cash out Texas and Boston. Reverse line movement. 49% of the bets, 57% of the cash are on the Rangers. I'll move quick in case it does get delayed outright. And it's come down 9 cents. We look at the total. It's gone from 9 to 8.5. And you have 90% of the bets and 85% of the cash. I'm on the Red Sox. Eovaldi's coming back home. He's had an okay start to the season. That being said, though, he still pukes his nuts up when he's in Fenway. He generates over a 4 ERA. Not where I want to have my money. On the other side of things here, Gonzalez coming off a pretty decent start. I mean, he found the groove. Now, I'm sorry. What did I say? Gonzalez. Giolito. Sorry. Looking at something else. I hate that it's in a rain delay. I'm on the Red Sox. I'm just going to give that to you really fast. We do have a lot of plays to cover here, and if this doesn't win, I'm going to attribute it to the rain delay, and if it is that, I will cancel my rain delay bets in the future. It's a pain in the ass, but I just look. Eovaldi's having a 2.1 ERA. He's having a great season. Again, I said that, and he's coming back to Fenway, and these boys know how to get in touch with him. The guys, I mean, the top of the lineup is scary as shit when it comes down to it. Durant, Devers, and Bregman all can smash this guy. But I just don't know when it comes to the Texas side of things here on the road. Now with this rain delay on top of it, they're just inconsistent when it comes to batting. Especially if you get past, like, the top three dudes are all 291 or 300s. Smith, Langford, and Seager. Then you get to Peterson. He's an 0.94. And then you just roll on down, and it's just mediocre success at best. I just don't think Texas has enough. I originally liked the under in this game too, but I backpedaled, and I just ended up going with the Red Sox at even money. I think that they can find a way here. Two teams that are pretty comparably marked. And look, the Red Sox are coming off that shit series against the Twins. It wasn't like they weren't scoring. They just weren't playing enough defense. They won that first game 6-1. Then they lost 4-3 and 5-4. So 2 one-run games, and I can catch them at even money at home with what I thought was an early start. So we'll see what happens. I deal with you guys. If this one doesn't cash, then there we go. Let's go. Skunk Blaster's in the house, though. What up, Skunk? Skunk Bag Play of the Day. One of my favorite names out there. Likes Tampa and the under 8 plus 255. I was looking at that under 8. I like the Phillies, but I backed off it just because of what we see on the road from Wheels. I thought about Wheeler to get the win too, but not where I want to be. Not where I want to be invested. The Scumbag Play of the Day is on Tampa and the under, and it's a plus money price tag for our guy here. Jerry Davis says Rangers and under. And Nicholas Handy likes the Orioles. I like the Gunner. Gun Dog Henderson to figure it out, but I had enough action. I don't want to get there. And I want to have some live bet action as well. So the Padres and the Yankees popping off here at 7 p.m. as well. Hopefully not in a rain delay. I haven't seen any rain delay notifications as of yet. And, seeing what the Padres can do and what they did yesterday on top of that here. Excellent price tag. Kind of oscillation when it comes to the line. When I say oscillating, it's gone down on the Yankees from 118 to 115. It's gone up on the Padres from 100 to plus 110. 46% of the bets, 58% of the cash have come in on the Padres. It's Clark taking a big Schmidt, and of course King on the other side here for the Padres. And I'm done discounting the Padres. Don't tell Ramon, but I'm buying in on these Padres, especially at a plus money price tag. 4-1 with a 2.09 ERA is Michael King. Schmidt 0-1 with a 5.52 ERA. I've never been a Clark Schmidt fan. I've been on the record and as take a big Schmidt. I might have been the one that originated that thing here. Last start for Michael King, 5.2 innings pitched with 3 hits. What else you need? I mean, this guy's been able to find a way on the road. He's still going 11. He's still going over 5 innings for you. So there's the consistency you look for. Let's up a few more runs or hits than you'd like with a 1 per inning, 12 hits over his 2 starts on the road. But his numbers only go, he's just consistent across the board. He does have a 3.97 ERA on the road, but 4 games played, 4 games started against the AL with a 21.1 ERA, 29 Ks. I'll give you a hit around inning if you can fire it back with a strikeout an inning. Ducks on the pond, he plays to some contact, and then they find a way to do that defensive thing, and you get guys that just don't freaking quit. His last start was a 5-3 win. I mentioned he let up 3 hits, only 1 earned run against the San Francisco Giants. They've kind of been in turmoil. A lot of tight games. Lost to Tampa 1-0. Did his job. Lost 3-2 against Houston. 4 hits, 5.2 innings pitched. Give me the San Diego Padres at a plus 110 price tag. Not going to mess around. Just give that one to me. Or get these Yankees, especially given the Yankees tax, and you're catching it at plus 110. Fine and dandy. Let's go. What do we got next? Brisk pace. Our guy Sharpie's getting ready to pop off. I want to be there when he pops off. I like the intro music. The Reds and the Braves, I've told you before, if a team gets shut out, where do I want to be the next game? I'm a team that got shut out. However, the exception to that rule very well could be these Cincinnati Reds. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to take the Braves. I'll tell you about this game here. But look, good old Andy Abbott has been fine. You know, Andrew Abbott, 2.84 ERA, is doing the job. Chris Sale, shit start, big last game, managing a 4.84 ERA. He's got a 7 ERA at home. He went 7 innings his last game. Allowed 5 hits, only 2 earned runs, and one of them was a homer. He did have 10 Ks. Remember what I said? I'll let up a hit if you're matching those hits with Ks. He's 2-1 Ks to hits. Generally speaking, that formula is going to catch you a bunch of wins. Specifically, if you want to see what the Braves do when it comes to Chris Sale, we'll talk about it. That's why I'm going to get involved in a spot on this game. But I do have intersecting zeros. It's not a side. 87% of the bets, only 73% of the cash coming in the Braves. Dodgers. Pumping. Dodgers find a way to pump. The old pump and it was fucking Freeman. Man. 5.51 ERA out there or batting average for Freeman against Quantrill. That might have been the easiest home run of the day. Actually, it wasn't a home run. Excuse me. It was an RBI, though. Still might have been that's plus 105. That's because I looked at it. I thoroughly evaluated it, and I decided, nope, we're not going to lay plus 105s. Usually 125, 130 is my floor when it comes to the RBI game. All right. Big money coming in. Laying a big price tag when it comes to these Braves. Total, 91% of the bets, 81% of the cash on the over. There's a differential of 10 points leaning to the under. Chris Sale. I said his 10 Ks, 10 punch-outs, as Sharpie says, in 7 innings of work against the Colorado Rockies. The Braves, as long as they're not an egregious favorite, egregious as defined by more than a minus 300, and he struck out at least 7 his previous start, the Braves are 20-0. So I get it. I get why that money's coming in. It's just too big a price tag for me. So I look to the under, figuring if he's finding a way to get back to form, the Reds are inconsistent at best. And then the intersecting zeros pop into play. Catch an 8.5. I got the 8.5 at minus 118. Reds are 19-0 when they're a dog versus a team that allows less than 4.5 runs a game. And they're going under by 3.8 runs in those spots. So if we're catching an 8 or an 8.5, and they're going under by 3.8, and the team they're playing is allowing less than 4.5, Chris Sale should mow these dudes down. It should be rinse and repeat of last night. Just the math that goes behind it. And Chris Sale finds himself in that 20-0 position with the Atlanta Braves. Then, not just Chris Sale, but when they got a lefty on the bump, Atlanta crushes 12-0 to the under as home favorites with a lefty, and they're going under by almost 3 runs a game. Under 8.5, inconsistent Cincy. I mean, the bats can get hot for the Braves. They've shown that they're not at this current juncture. So I'm good enough and comfortable with it. And it's below that key number of 9. So I think Andy Abbott can shove. Would it surprise me if the Reds won the game like 2-1? Yeah, probably. But I still think it's a lower scoring affair. And I think that these two pitchers have shown current form Sale, season form Abbott. You don't want to be on the over in this Braves game here. The price tags on the RBIs, they're not even as ugly as that Freeman one was there to kind of show that this is a spot. Take the under 8.5, feel good about yourself, and let's roll on. Let's go. Let's keep her moving. Brisk pace. I told you guys we're going to fly through this thing here and get this thing rolling. The White Sox and the Royals. We don't need to spend any length of time on this game other than to tell you I am taking some Lugo to win the game. Lugo to win the game means that he has to be lead. He has to play 5 innings, and they have to be up and maintain the lead. This price tag has not moved on the Kansas City Royals side of things, minus 230. 96% of the bets, 97% of the cash on the Kansas City Royals. Total's not moving. 8.5. I told you my first cut last night was the first 5 under 4.5 in that Royals game. 4 if you could only get it. It didn't matter. It went under. It was close in the end of the bottom of the 5th. The Royals tried to do a little bit of work. Bobby Witt comes through again. His hit streak has been on fire. 86% of the bets, 81% of the cash on the over 8.5. It's Burke with a 4.91 ERA. It's Lugo with a 3.07 ERA. A lot of this comes down to me is just the history that we see when it comes to Lugo against the White Sox. Now, it is the White Sox, but look, he's pretty much dominated this squad. Pretty much shut him down last year. He'll let guys on base, but he finds a way to maneuver, and then just kind of that defensive ball that Kansas City can play knocks him out of there. And I don't see why that's going to be any different. They're 14-0, the Royals, when they're a favorite of more than a minus 200. 12 of those games have been in the last year, so it's not like we have a dated sample size. 14-0 goes back. No, it's been the last year. They were pretty hot last year. Kansas City got rolling, and it's against the White Sox. The White Sox caught their wins. A lot of people like the minus 1.5. It's minus 108. I don't mind that, but here's the challenge. It's the home team. If they're up and Lugo's winning the game, they're not pitching in the bottom of the 9th. So if it's like 4-3 or 3-2, you're losing that run line play. Now, caveat to that is Lugo has to continue to do what Lugo does, but I don't see why he doesn't go out there and do just that. So I'm good. I'm in. I'm on the Lugo to win this game. It's the White Sox, you guys. I'm not going to spend a ton of time selling you on why you should be fading the White Sox. The question is, how do you back this Kansas City team? I'm not mad at the 8.5 either. I just thought, give me the opportunity. Let's go. Beat the shit out of Burke. 4.91 ERA. Smack this guy. He's got a 2-4 record on the year. And he got Kansas City at home. I just don't like that. The minus 1.5 in the bottom of the 9th. I thought Lugo, easy enough with the plus money price tag. What do you think? We're moving. We're grooving. Jay Main says Red Sox 7:15 start. I don't think so now. I think the Red Sox are starting at time to be determined, I guess. I guess we'll see. I guess we will see. Gerald Jones on the first 5 Reds Braves under 4.5. Okay. Redbeard coming in with the comedy routine. Abbott's on first. Who's on second? What? Isn't it what's on third? Is that how it goes? Ramon Scott says last night's game had an October feel. I think he's talking about that Padres game. A lot of you guys. The Fixer likes the Padres. Jerry Davis on the Padres run line. Jerry Davis says Evan Carter back for Texas. All right, listen, the last game I got for you guys in baseball, rapid fire, because we got the live stream starting here in like 10 minutes. So we got to move. We got plenty of time. I'll get through it here. Los Angeles Angels. I told you the other night there, I'm not sold on their inconsistency against delivering against right-handed pitchers. This line's moved a little bit towards the Blue Jays. 60% of the bets, 78% of the cash moving on the Blue Jays. It's moved 4 cents. J-Main likes the Royals -2. 90% of the bets, 78% of the cash on the over 9 for the Jays. It hasn't moved. Now, 9 being that key number, public on the over, a little bit of a differential, sharp bettors on the under. Kind of suggesting a lower scoring game. There was a pitching change. It's Urania going out there, sporting his 15 ERA. And that's where I want to fade a team. When they start changing up pitchers at the last minute, there's some weird shit going on with the routine. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to be invested in it. I'm going to fade Urania. By the way, my batter dashboard today, as I was looking and getting ready for the RBI game here, like 5 of the 9 starting batters for the Angels were all in the top 10. So even the DFS metrics show Urania should be getting crushed. And it's Anderson. I like Anderson. 2.67 ERA. He's found himself 2-0 on the season. lot of love for Vladdy here, but I just think that yes, the bats for Toronto can go off, but I'll counter that with nobody likes to puke his nuts up more than Uranian. Except maybe Gausman on the road. Now the Angels come off a 13-1 thumping, and that puts us in play. You want to write this one down here. You start a new series at home, you got thumped. Thumped is defined by a double-digit loss. They just lost 13-1 to the Tigers. Tigers game in a rain delay today, by the way. Colorado Rockies, Detroit Tigers, rain delay. Those teams are 90-60. You're starting a new series at home. You just took a double-digit loss. The best part about that is they're not moving. They're not traveling. The Blue Jays had the big travel spot, an extended series at home, 2 series at home. The Angels picking their asses up after getting thumped 1-3 against the Tigers and a 90-60 trend. Look for them to, and you're not just bouncing back, you're bouncing back against a shit pitcher. In a weird rotation spot on the schedule. It's good enough for me. Take the Angels. I got them at even money. I got the Angels at even money. How about that? Kenny Wood thinks the Blue Jays have been really bad versus lefties in the last 90 at-bats. Yeah, that makes sense. No, there's another doubleheader to scratch off the list. Detroit and Colorado. Bo Jackson. The Toronto Whisperer has spoken. He says Tyler Anderson has an 0-3 record. Ooh. Well, hopefully records are made to be broken. All right, here's the deal. We're going to move into the NHL real quick. I told you guys, I think there's a lot of folks looking at this thing in a bad manner. Frederik Andersen is back. Meaning he was out. Meaning, yeah, he's been playing great, by the way. Don't want to get in that. 3-1 with a 1.59 goals against average, 93.6% save percentage. Then he comes out, he's hurt. And he's kind of had that yo-yo effect. Now, they gave him a contract extension a couple days ago, so they knew he was coming back. But I always think when a goalie's coming back, it's going to take him just a little bit, especially coming off of an injury, to adjust a game flow. Now, the funny thing is, 2/3 of the way through the season, everyone was saying it was egregious not to bring Logan Thompson in for Team Canada to play out there in the Four Nations tournament. He was one of the best goalies on the ice. 28-29 saves in Game 5 versus the Canadiens. They beat the shit out of the Canadiens. They beat them up, handily. Thompson, 2.23 ERA, playing better than his season record. 3 goals on 12 shots before an injury the last time he played Carolina. So there's a couple narratives out there. The first one is always 0-2 against Carolina. I say it in that stupid voice because it's only 2 games. And it hasn't been Thompson that's playing like a fucking superhero. Now, I told you guys I think a lot of people have the wrong team in this one. Partly for me, has a lot to do with the fact that, let's not forget, Carolina made that trade for Rantanen. They put some goods on the table. They traded for Rantanen. They put some pieces together. It kind of messed up the chemistry for the team. Rantanen's played less than 12 games, and he moves on up and out, and he's done in Carolina. They moved him to Dallas, and he has that 3 goals and 1 assist in the game, finishing 7 against Colorado Avalanche. So you spent some pieces to get this guy, and he fucked up your locker. Game 1s traditionally are physical affairs. We saw that obviously yesterday with Toronto and Florida. And nobody's more physical than Tom Wilson. Now, they might be slow and not be able to meet the whole series out there, but I'm not buying it. I'm taking the home Washington Capitals here. I think it is a lower scoring affair. And a lot of that has a lot to do with the fact that the Carolina Hurricanes are a lower scoring team. Now, some will say that they're more deep and so on and so forth, but yeah, Frederik Andersen, when he's in goal, plays great. I think there will be the adjustment period. And I don't like what we see from Carolina Hurricanes offense on the road, 2.71 goals per game against, you give Ovechkin a power play, he's scoring tonight. Playoffs, looking for another Stanley Cup after setting the NHL record. I just think anybody taking Carolina, I think you got the wrong side. Redbeard, I'm trying to go, man. Trying to go. So I'm going to take me some Washington Capitals here. You catch them at plus 120. First game of the series. We'll see how it evolves tonight, but goalie coming back, adjusting to speed. Mixed up some people. And listen, Carolina played the New Jersey Devils. It wasn't like they went out there and beat the Winnipeg Jets. So, and my guy Justin McKelvey's 2 favorite words, stop it. Capitals aren't losing tonight. Stop that nonsense. Edmonton Oilers will play the Vegas Golden Knights. This should be a fun series. I think the Oilers probably win tonight. They've shown the propensity to go down to Vegas and find a way to bang her out. I don't like their goaltending situation. Picard, because, if you got to go to Skinner, you're in trouble. But I think the bottom line is they woke up the sleeping giant. They were able to neutralize this Kings offense. Aiden Hill's good. He's not great. When it comes to these 2 goaltenders and the way things are shaking out. But for me, 2.83 goals against average, 88% save percentage for Aiden Hill. I mean, that's not going to be good enough. He didn't play great in that first series. And a lot of people, myself included, thought, holy shit, is Minnesota going to nuke these dudes? Now, Picard on the same side, clearly the better of the 2. Another under 90%er. The Oilers offense can score 4.5 goals a game against that Los Angeles team out there. And there's no argument here. McDavid, best player in the postseason, 11 points in that series against the Los Angeles Kings. I think he's going to have I think Edmonton shuts down the Kings. I hate to say it. I hate to be wrong about saying everybody that said Edmonton's not going to win the Stanley Cup, all that nonsense I went into, but I'm going to take the under in this game. Under 6.5. You have your first period overs. Take it. Pacific Division teams, when the totals of 6.5 are 25-7 to the under. 25-7 to the under in those spots. Pacific Division teams. Oops. The problem I have, Vegas defense is big and slow. Big can mean physical, but slow means you're going to get guys like Draisaitl and McDavid dancing all around you. 4-2 Vegas wins, or Vegas loses this first game, I think, here. I like the Oilers. I'm not going to take the side, though. I'm going to try one more under. I'm getting burned on some of these unders over the last couple of days. Sharp Perspective betting report came in, by the way. They do like the under in the Carolina Capitals game. Under 5.5 is now a 6. They also like the under 6.5 in this Vegas and Oilers game. Maybe they know about that Pacific Division trend. And the last game I got for you guys here in the NBA, I told you, I think probably the Cavaliers covered this game now. This is coming way down. And I think it's got to be an under, but I'll give you the splits real quick. It doesn't matter. 71% of the bets and 71% of the cash are on the Pacers. It's gone from 9-6 to 5.5. It's injury related, as is the total. It's gone from 228.5 to 227.5. I don't want to get invested in that game. What I am going to get invested in is this Timberwolves game. I'm going to take the Timberwolves in the first half. 71% of the bets, only 69% of the cash on Golden State. Sharp respected betting action has come in, and it showed the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're laying the 6.5 on Minnesota. Total's gone from 208 to 210.5. 96% of the bets, 96% of the cash. For me, Golden State's got the regular season number 3 straight up, 1 loss. 3 straight up against the spread, or 3 against the spread and 1 loss in the regular season. Steph Curry can go out there and he might want to start fucking. I don't want to be around to see that. It wasn't game 7 with Steph, though. It was Buddy. Good old Buddy boy in game 7 that came out there and made this thing happen. And defense can be played by this Timberwolves team. So I just want to get involved with the first half. I got a -3.5 here because I know it's a different series and we'll see what happens. It's not, both teams though. I mean, Minnesota's not playing the Lakers anymore. They ain't playing no LeBron James, but if Curry's going to go off and maybe it's the second half after they make halftime adjustments, I just want to get in and out of this thing. I'll tell you this. Jimmy Butler's return to Minnesota. That might make it a little uncomfortable and a little ugly for the guy that's been carrying the defense for Golden State. But I'll lay the 3.5. I'll get in and out of this thing. Minnesota busted up them Lakers. And you know how much the public loved them Lakers. Vegas probably was looking to fade them Lakers out there, but 4-1 in that series out there. And Golden State had to go to the deep waters against this Houston Rockets team here. I think Minnesota's hands down better than Houston. So just the first half for me. If I'm going to see Minnesota blow it, it's going to be over the course of the full 60 minutes of play, or 48 minutes of play, excuse me. And I don't want any part of that. So that's the way we're going to put a bow on the show. We got a live stream to get to. It starts right now. Get your butts over there. Smack that thumbs up on the way out the door, and I'll see you guys over with my guy Sharpie Bets here in just a couple of minutes. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. Smash the thumbs up. Leave a comment.